Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Town of Salem guide video. Today I'm going to be talking about how to win as Werewolf. I know, it sounds impossible. That's because it basically is, but it's not entirely. And if you're going to maximize your chance of winning as Werewolf in the current Town of Salem sort of ranked meta, this is probably your best chance. And I've had some good Werewolf wins, and I've had a lot more close calls than wins as Werewolf. But it seems pretty standard for neutral killing at this point. I want to give you guys a couple of hints, a couple of tips, I would say, that I think will maximize your chance of winning. And hopefully you enjoy. And I'm going to be playing some videos in the background. I've got some great Werewolf gameplay on the channel. Make sure you check them out if you want to see some more. So, and a lot of it is these tips in action. First, little tip for winning as Werewolf: do not default claim Sheriff. Okay. Why? People just have this idea that they always have to claim what they show up as, but it's actually a really, really bad call. You don't always have to do it. You only really have to claim. You don't even have to do it necessarily this time, but you only generally have to claim what you show up as if there's only space for that, for one, or two, and more likely you get seen by an investigator. But the chance of there being an investigator in a game is not actually particularly high. About a 50% chance that there is a investigator in a game in a standard ranked game at this time. That is not to say, though, that, it doesn't happen and you don't get occasionally night one called out by an investigator. Oh, well, bad luck. But I don't think that people should default to claiming as what they show up as. So it's like, I'm a werewolf, therefore I claim sheriff. No. No. Look at yourself in the mirror. No. Okay? It's not a good call because whenever there is a werewolf in the game, a known werewolf, sheriffs are the first one to look suspicious. In my opinion, the only time you should be claiming sheriff as a werewolf is if you're really good at scum raiding. You scum raid a proper mafia, like mafioso or janitor, and you actually get them lynched. You'll see in the background right now, I've got a video playing. This is from a video that I called A Christmas Miracle. It was one of my favorite werewolf games of all time, and a crazy game. And in it, I claim Lookout. And this claim gets me all the way to endgame. Claiming Lookout as a werewolf by using other people's wills and my own intuition and a little bit of a process of elimination to figure out a couple legitimate responses, a couple legitimate answers on my will that made me seem like I at least was more likely to not be the werewolf than to be the werewolf. And that's what I'm saying. If I claim sheriff and there's a werewolf left alive and then a spy claim and somebody else, well, guess what? I'm dying simply because I'm claiming sheriff. So that's something to keep in mind. You shouldn't default claim sheriff. You should claim what you're good at claiming, and you should claim what fits into the role list. Sometimes, if you're an arsonist, you claim BG, you just get killed because it's the normal thing for people to do. Well, stop. Sorry for that. Just stop doing that annoying sort of only claiming what you show up as. Okay. Next, manage majorities. Okay, so this is pretty important. And the video in the background is one of those where it goes poorly and I have to fight my butt off because managing majorities means that you don't want Mafia to have a super majority at the end game, and you don't want Town to have a majority either. You have to balance killing Mafia with killing Town. Sometimes an important Town role has to die, or sometimes an important Town role is likely to have people visit them and you want to have multiple kills in a night to speed up the game. I understand both those things. However, you also want to keep in mind that sometimes Mafia needs to die. And if Mafia doesn't die, you end up in a 3v1v1, and guess who they're killing? They're killing you! You're dead. You're gonzos. The game is over for you. And so it's really important to kind of maintain a balance between Mafia, Town, and yourself being in there at the same time. Alright, number 3, find allies. And this one's easier said than done as Werewolf. Really, your only main allies are going to be neutral evil. Although sometimes you might have to work with Mafia, especially if you've been discovered. It's not impossible that in a late game situation you might sit there and say, listen, Mafia, you kill me, you lose. Especially if it's at least partially true. And try to buy out the Mafia to give you a little bit more time to think and make some plays. It's something that can be done, and it often has to be done to have a chance of winning as a neutral killing. So don't be afraid to find allies, especially in the neutral pockets, though, and try to bring them onto your team. You know, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to need your help. If you say this about me, I'll get you lynched today. You have to kill the jailer. So on and so forth, okay? Find allies is one of the only ways you're going to win as neutral killing in the current ranked area of Town of Salem. Number 4, and this one is one that normally I don't feel this way about most other roles, and that is take risks. Typically with Town of Salem, you only take risks when it's do or die. For example, if you're a jailer, and if you lose majority tonight unless you execute, you might have to execute even if you're not sure if the person in jail is good or bad. Or as a vigilante, it could be the same. If tomorrow you guys lose your majority and you lose the game anyway, you have to take a shot tonight. And you may not be 100% sure on anybody. It's actually the same with the werewolf, but exemplified. You need to take risks almost all the time. Sometimes you're thinking to yourself, hey, it's likely that there's a doctor or a BG or a lookout on that jailer, and I could be in trouble here. But sometimes you got to take that risk. Sometimes you have to take the risk as evils in order to just give yourself any shot at all as winning, especially with a neutral killing role, which has such a low chance of victory to begin with. So be aggressive with neutral killing. If you die and you lose, it's -1 elo. What the heck? You know, try to make the big plays with the werewolf. The nice thing about werewolf is that werewolf also kills other people visiting your target, so you're a little bit safer when you're going after, say, a jailer or an important role that might have other people on them. You're a lot safer as a werewolf than you are otherwise. In a Coven game, you can knock out Crusaders like it's nobody's business because they can't touch you. So it's very important to kind of keep that kind of stuff in mind, that with a werewolf or any neutral killing role really, the risk-taking portion of your brain has to be set to near maximum. So that's little tip number 4 here. Number 5, never give up. Okay. This video playing in the background is why you should never give up. It's incredible. This is from the video on my channel called The Christmas Miracle. It's a fantastic one. It's from 2 years ago just about a year and a couple months ago. And it's so much fun. It's such a great game. I'm actually going to play a couple minutes of it for you guys here because I find it so entertaining. And you can just tell how hard you have to fight sometimes for neutral killing in order to get a potential win. So I'd like you guys to enjoy it. And then we'll come back and we'll wrap this up.
What are you talking about? You were always coming out after the fact. Ironclad Titan. Lori saw Bayer visit. I did. You did not, Dr. Goose. And you've never visited, as far as I can tell. Alright, can I do this? Correct. You didn't visit. That's the point. I was right about beer from day one. That's a BS excuse. Yes! I mean, I have to attack tonight. So, I have to attack tonight. Like a draw. Man, I'm gonna be so upset. Do you have an alert, 14? Because, I mean... Oh, sweet! What? Oh, man, I didn't deserve that win. Oh, my gosh, I didn't deserve that win. I was BSing everything to try to keep things going crazy. Oh my gosh. Town.
All right, so basically, yeah, you can win any game, even when the odds are stacked tremendously against you. Giving up is the one thing you really shouldn't do. Take risks, yes. Give up, no, no. Never give up. Sometimes miracles do happen. You can walk away with that beautiful, beautiful werewolf victory screen, which is a lovely one and a rare one. So try to collect them all, I suppose, right? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that was your tips to winning as werewolf. It's a very challenging role to win with, like most of Neutral Killings at this time. Its claim space is somewhat limited. You have to be willing to not claim sheriff, and really, I only think you should claim sheriff if you've got a scum read on a mafia and you can pull it off. Some people like to fake claim X. Well, that's great until a jester gets executed or shot by vigilante or killed by mafia, and then you're gone. So it really, generally, I feel you have to be open to claiming other roles than sheriff as werewolf. Otherwise, your chance of winning is next to none. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next time. Good luck in your werewolf games. Peace out.